Hey guys, welcome to the Woodland Podcast. I'm James Marshall and thanks for tuning in to another episode. As always, this episode is brought to you by our awesome partners, Pure Sport CBD, Straight Face Razors, Regan Todd at Todd's Racing, Pomeroy's Coffee who have come on with Waterlad Coffee Bean, and look out for Waterlad Tea coming soon. And last but not least, the Lad merch, which is all but gone now. So thanks to anyone who bought some of that or any of those products that were just mentioned. There's some great discounts to be had. So if you want to get your hands on any of those products, head over to waterlad.com and click the appropriate partner to go get your discount. Anyway, I've got a great lad on for you today. So let's roll the intro.
What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad. What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad.
Righto, guys. Today I have a man considered a legend within our family. He's been on the Waterlad podcast before in season 1 where he produced a highly downloaded episode. And now with his recent announcement signing back with his beloved Tasman Mako, he is coming back on. And in a recent poll that I put up on the Instagram page, 89% of you asked for this guy to come back on. It is, of course, the one and only Thomas Guthrie. Marshall, welcome, Toey.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me back on the podcast. I know you had a lot of other guests that were keen to jump on here, so I feel like a real honour to be back on the podcast and in the new shed.
Yeah, family first, eh? I mean, lots of guys were keen to come out to Mapua and come into the new studio, but thought I'd better give you the test run first. What do you reckon?
No, it's pretty good. For a fairly amateur podcast, you're running a very professional studio. It's bloody good.
Fake it till you make it, eh?
Too right.
Well, anyway, last time you were on the podcast, you were about to head off to Japan. So how was Japan for you?
Yeah, it was an experience, I suppose. Pretty tough one with COVID and whatnot. Not a lot of freedom whilst we were over there. Pretty hard kind of a lifestyle for my wife Beth and young son Chase. They spent a lot of their time in the apartment. Just with COVID, it wasn't great socially. Rugby wise, it was a good experience. Lucky enough to have a couple of lads over there, and TJ and Banksy. So spent a fair bit of time with them, and to be honest, really enjoyed the rugby. It was a refreshing change from the UK, which was, is the most physical game probably in world rugby is in the Premiership. So it was refreshing to have kind of Japanese rugby players, no touch type defense. So no, I really enjoyed it.
You obviously carved it up over there too, you and TJ. Massive influence on that side. I mean, you guys were shocking the year before, but turned it around pretty significantly.
Yeah, I think TJ certainly, definitely one of the most influential players in the top league, and we could have easily been none from 4 if he wasn't on the field. So no, it was enjoying playing with him, and he's an inspiring individual, as you would know. Like his work ethic is second to none. It's probably the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to question your own work ethic when you're around someone like that, and it inspires you to want to be better as well.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoyed my time with him.
What about Banksy?
Oh, Banksy, yeah. He's
he's the opposite.
Yeah, he's inspirational in his own mind, but
Prison Break.
yeah, his work rate on Netflix is outstanding. But no, he's a hell of a lad.
Yeah.
He didn't have it easy over in Japan either. He was by himself in an apartment alone, and he wasn't getting picked at the start of the season, so that was tough. But he fronted up every day at training, always had a smile on his face, and always had some good perspective, and always had a good laugh with Banksy, usually at his expense. But, no, it was good.
And he came right at the end of the year when he got a chance. Not came right, but when he got a chance, he was killing it too.
Yeah, all that pent up frustration that he had led into one big hit, which would be the highlight of his career almost. I'd say it's been replayed over and over again in the team room, just leg drive, physicality. So
What, the coaches were loving it?
yeah,
Oh, true.
yeah, everyone was loving it. It's Banksy's big moment, but no, he's awesome, mate. He was ice cold towards the back end. I think he ended up getting the start in the quarterfinal, and you know he's been there and he's done that. So he just slotted back into there seamlessly.
And the 50-metre dash between Banksy and TJ, that was talked up for a while there. What happened there? I mean, we almost got it off the ground, eh?
Yeah, no, there was a few dynamics that went into that. Banksy was obviously confident at the start, but as you know, TJ's a highly competitive person. He was doing speed training pretty much every day. Genuinely, Banksy, I reckon, probably had 7 metres on him over 50 at the start.
No way.
Yeah, he would have smoked him.
Really?
He would have smoked him, but we got live GPSs at training, and his speed times every week were getting quicker and quicker and quicker. And towards the end of the season, they were faster than Banksy's.
True.
So Banksy kind of went from, keen as to get this race on board to, sore ankle, all sorts. Never really eventuated.
Oh, I was wondering what was happening then, because TJ keeps pushing it out. He said, I'll do it at the end of the year, and Banksy was keen to have it early, and then Banksy wasn't keen at the end of the year, so TJ just went on the Bodie 6-week speed program. And
yeah, that was it. No, it would have been an interesting race towards the end, but maybe there's still time for it. In a bit of Mitre 10 Cup.
Yeah, who knows? Oh, Southland Wellington.
Hey, an intercept. Funnier things that happen.
After the game, it's got to be
fresh.
fresh.
All right.
Or before the game, in their warm-up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you obviously wear a lot of Under Armour gear these days, so is that heavily influenced by TJ, or what happened there?
That's my whole wardrobe, eh? TJ had a fairly decent hookup in Japan. And the bloke he got around the boys and took us into the store and just said, basically, spend whatever you want.
For free?
Yeah, for free. Yeah. Fill up your bags.
Jeez, what a lad.
Get some clothes for the missus. All sorts. But, that's just the type of guy he is. He's pretty generous.
Far out. That's good stuff, eh? Got any? And you mentioned the Japan rugby. Like, what was the difference between the Japanese rugby compared to the UK for you as a fullback?
Yep. Well, physicality. Physicality is the big one. And the UK is such a different style of rugby to anywhere. Like, there's so much kicking. The weather's poor. There's a lot of box kicking. There's a lot of big men, and there's not as much space. In Japan, it's probably a faster tempo. You probably get more tired playing in Japan. You run more meters. And I think that's probably the biggest thing.
And the training workload. People always talk about the Japanese training. So how do you find it with your dodgy knees?
Yeah, at the start it was a bit of a shock, but we were pretty lucky. We were at Docomo. We had an Aussie trainer.
Oh yeah.
He looked after us pretty good, and he made sure the workload wasn't company focused and more professional. So that was good.
Saviour. And how's the body feeling now?
Yeah, it's good. Just finished my first week of Tassie training, so it was a bit of an adjustment, but it's nice to have the weekend off and just recover and get ready to go again.
So how did the Tassie return come about? I remember me and you always talked about both looking to finish our careers here, and weirdly enough we have, but obviously I'm not playing, but we're both here and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I never would have thought that I'd be playing and you'd be coaching me at Tasman.
No, weirdo.
It's pretty loose, but I guess towards the end of top league, I knew that we'd finish in March, and I knew that the season wouldn't start next year till January, so there was a bit of time to fill. And I think I made contact with you or Goody and just kind of sniffing around to see if there was anything there, and Goody got back to me and said that he'd like to try and make something work. So straight away I was pretty excited about the prospect of coming home and getting back into the New Zealand rugby system and just having one last crack at the Makos.
So it is a one year thing?
Yeah, just a short term contract. Yeah, it's a young man game in New Zealand.
Yeah.
There's so many young kids coming through, and
you're the oldest, eh?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, this first time in my career, I guess it had to happen at some stage, but I'm the oldest back at the moment, and by quite a bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. It's refreshing. You know, the young boys are all really keen to learn, and they're really engaged. And you know, it's good to see.
Well, Tim O'Malley must be close to you, isn't he?
Yeah, bloody Brucey. He broke my heart. I thought, oh yeah. Said to him the other day, yeah, over 30s off the field, but he's like, mate, I'm only 26. Couldn't believe it.
And he's probably the second oldest.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Geez, you are old. And you talked about the first week. What's the difference been? First week training back with Tasman compared to over in Japan?
Oh, just the engagement from the boys. Like I remember my first meeting, kind of everyone was talking, everyone was engaging, everyone had opinions, everyone was, you know, standing up and presenting, where in Japan you just don't really get any of that.
No.
They're just too shy, or I don't know, maybe they're daydreaming, or a combination of both. But yeah, certainly the environment that I was in Japan, it was only 2 or 3 people that would talk, and you know, the team meetings were kind of awkward, kind of boring. So it's been quite refreshing coming back here and listening to everyone's opinion, and seeing that the boys that are keen to learn, you know, they might not know everything, but they'll still share what they think is right, which is good. And you know, that's refreshing as well. Obviously, being in the UK environment, we found that there wasn't a lot of engagement there either, due to the fear of getting the absolute piss taken out of you.
Yeah, if you say something dumb.
Yeah, you'd almost find yourself.
Banter.
The banter is next level. You find yourself in the team meeting just waiting for someone to say something stupid so that it can be their nickname for the year.
Blair Cowan, he was always our guy.
And it's good. It is funny. It's so bad, but it's easy to fall into that trap. It must be a nightmare for coaches, because they ask questions and no one's keen to say the answer in case they get it wrong, and that's them done for the year. But yeah, it's been refreshing, and it's been really good. Like, it's really professional at Tasman. I'd be surprised if there's a more professional setup in terms of the coaches and the detail and the game plan and how it's run. It's pretty on point, and it's no surprises why they've been so successful.
Any of the young guys stand out to you? First week, anyone impress you? I know you got a good eye for talent and potential.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good young kids there, eh? They're all obviously young, and they're all raring to go. Don't really think it's probably a little bit too early to single out my next All Black. You know, I don't want to be let down, and I don't want to burden the young fella. So, yeah, we'll see how they go. But there's some exciting prospects.
Oh, nice, fair enough. So the worst thing about you coming back to Nelson, I guess, or Tasman, is the fact that I have to have conversations with half a Nelson pretending to be you. How many convos have you had as me since you've been back?
Yeah, just the one in the swimming pool, of all places. A big James Marshall fan come on over and said, "Oh, guy, how are you?" And it's like, "You're James Marshall, aren't you?" At that stage, you may as well just say, "Yep, yeah, how you going, buddy?" But yeah, not too many, not too many
good. People
out Mako way. I don't think know the Marshalls out here, so it's a good little hiding spot.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, 45 games for Tassie, approaching the 50 club. Think you'll get there?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, that was part of the reason of coming home, to give myself a chance at least. So, you know, I'm here, I'm fit at the moment, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. So yeah, we'll see how we go.
Pumice Bones will hold up.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully, I don't see why not. I just need to make sure that I train well, and if I get a chance, play well.
And I think the last time you were here, we had try-scoring songs for each Mako got to choose their own try-scoring song. Do you remember that?
How long ago was that? That was not last time. That was like, I do remember that, 2010.
2010.
You got my song.
Yeah, Under the Boardwalk.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah. It probably didn't get played too often.
Nah, it got played 3 times in one game, and I remember the Tassie guys getting complaints about bad song choice.
I never scored 3 tries. Under the Boardwalk, yeah.
Well, it must have been a double.
That's a strange try-scoring choice.
Not well. And obviously the question that everyone's asked me, or they've probably asked you as well, what's it like being coached by your brother, or what's it like coaching your brother for me? So how's it been the first week?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic.
Everyone asked, yeah.
Everyone asked, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, I suppose. Like, it doesn't happen every day. And like I said earlier, I didn't think it would ever happen, but yeah, it's early days. Haven't had too many steamy arguments so far, which has been good. But I think it'll be good. It'll be cool.
Oh, good answer. I think you might make round one. You've said the right things there. So, what's your expectations for the season with Tassie?
As a team, yeah, I think it'd be awesome to win again, wouldn't it? There's certainly no reason why not. They've got the players, they've got the coaching staff, they've got the setup. So I think, that would be the goal, I'd imagine.
And what about you personally? What's the goals for Tom?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, really. I don't really have too many goals. I mean, it'd be awesome to hit that 50th game if I get the opportunity. But I just want to try and add value to the team as much as I can in whatever way I can. It'll probably be different to how I have in the past. Obviously a little bit more older than a lot of the boys around, so it's just probably getting around those young boys and just giving as much help as I can and try and give them the best chance to crack on. And
what have you got anything lined up for after Tassie?
After Tassie, I'm heading back to Japan.
Yeah.
Signed a 2-year deal at NEC Green Rockets.
Oh.
Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Why the change of club? So how did the change of club come about?
Yeah, so I was only on a short-term deal at Docomo. I'd signed I think it was an 8-month contract.
Oh, yeah.
I went there with hopes and expectations of re-signing early enough, training well, playing well, and getting maybe a contract extension. It started off really well. They were impressed with me. The feedback was good. They said that they were pretty keen to re-sign me, and I was like, yep, cool, sweet. That was kind of that. And then it got towards the end of the season and I still hadn't had a contract. So I kind of just thought, bugger it, I'm going to try my luck somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other factors, it was quite a tough year socially and the lifestyle-wise. Didn't overly enjoy it. I knew TJ and Marty were leaving, so that was a big part of wanting to find a different club.
Yeah.
I kind of left Docomo with nothing, and I was lucky enough to get a phone call from Michael Checker when I was back in New Zealand.
Checker.
He was asking if I was keen to come over and join NEC, who he's just taken over.
How did you know Checker? Just from What a Lad.
Yeah, I think he's a big What a Lad fan. I've never met Michael before. I think he's had conversations with TJ in the past, and I think TJ might have mentioned my name as a fullback to potentially head to Japan.
True.
So I think I owe TJ quite a bit for that contract.
Closet full of Under Armour and a contract 2-year gig. Wow,
Definitely, got to be grateful for old Kid Another Son. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to a new change. They're based just outside of Tokyo, which will be a nice change. And by all means, they're a pretty underperforming club at the moment, but they're keen to rebuild and grow a team over the next 5 years. So yeah, they were keen to get someone in with a little bit of experience and help build a culture, which will be exciting.
So Checker has obviously come up on the podcast a few times. Brendan McKibben had a couple of good stories about him. Someone else did as well. I can't remember who, but have you had conversations with him on the phone? What's that? What have they been like?
Yeah. No, I must say I did laugh at Brendan McKibben's stories. That was hard case. I've had a couple of conversations to him on the phone, and by all means, he seems like a good bloke. Pretty hard case, but pretty honest as well, which is good. He's pretty hardworking, and he wants his players to be the same. So I think he'll drive a good culture, and I think he'll get the right type of players in as well.
Mm. And karaoke with Checker, you reckon?
Oh. Nah, I don't think I'll jump back into the karaoke scene. Last time I did it, I was with Marty Banks, and we basically got the mic taken out of our hands because we weren't good enough. They take their karaoke pretty seriously over there.
Were you not in a booth, or were you in like a
It was
bar?
a small karaoke bar. And
yeah.
to be fair, the other people singing were unreal. Like, they could have been on American's Idol or anything. And then me and Banksy, we actually got pressured into it. We didn't want to do it. And then we started singing, and they were pumped up. And then as a couple of verses later, they were like, "Oh no!" Basically, their faces just dropped. So no, I think that's probably scarred me from karaoke.
Fair enough. You used to love it. Under the Boardwalk, big go-to.
Yeah, that's the one.
And Eminem Puke from memory. That was your other go-to, eh?
Yeah, just an ageist classic, that one.
Oh, so with NEC, how long's your gig with NEC?
2 years.
Any plans after that? See how it goes.
Yeah, no, we'll just see how we go. I want to obviously try and play rugby for as long as I can, and as long as the body's feeling good. At the moment, it's been feeling really good. I really enjoyed my first season in Japan. But 2 years is a lot of water under the bridge, so we'll see how we're going after that.
What's your gut say? How long do you reckon you've got left? I thought you'd be done by now, to be honest, but you're still going.
I was pretty much done at 25.
Second wind.
To be fair, the 5 years I had at Gloucester was just 5 years of rehab to get me into really good shape.
For Tassie.
Yeah. Building up since I'd come back to Tassie. But genuinely, I didn't play a lot of rugby in those 5 years, so it's probably extended my career, and COVID's been a saviour. I was feeling pretty sore before COVID, and then this last year's been unreal because I've only played a few games, so... I don't know. We'll see how we go. 35 would be nice, wouldn't it?
You might go for the Mark Bright 42 record.
Friday 42. No, the man's a freak. I don't know how anyone plays until they're that age. That's crazy.
Yeah, shit. I remember him at Tasman. He was old as, and to think it's 12 years later, he's still going.
Yeah, and he was sore as well.
Yeah.
Like, he was like a once a week trainer, captain's run type of a player.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to keep yourself going for that long.
Yeah, they let him go from Tasman because he was too old, and he's still playing 12 years later. I think I was 19, and he was like one of the old guys.
I remember that. KK had the conversation and said, "Mate, you're too old. We can't keep you." And then that following season, he was playing for England Sevens.
Yeah, that's right. And then 11 years later, he's still going. He must have just been filthy at KK's words, I reckon, and just prove a point.
Great motivation, yeah. There'd be a few people around the country that would have had good motivation from KK, I'd imagine.
What was your best one?
I was lucky, to be fair. I didn't get too much on the bad side of KK.
Jeez, you did well.
Yeah, I know. The odd mutton head, but that was about it. I probably wasn't listening in the meeting.
Yeah, fair enough. And you're back in Nelson and looking to join this Waterlad brewery. We're looking to brew a beer together. How cool is that?
Yeah, no, it's exciting, isn't it? What a lad, what a beer. Early days, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're probably in the fun stage of the operation.
Yeah.
The sampling.
Sampling a good classic right now. This is a Waterlad Hazy, which hopefully will be on the shelves within I don't know how long the process takes, but maybe a couple of months. Be good to have it going by the end of year two. Maybe a Waterlad Lager for the end of year two, and then Waterlad Hazies for the summer. Yeah, no, I'm sure there'll be a big engagement of Waterland fans. You know, all the boys that come on seem to not mind a brew. It's a few stories for sure. So no, I think it'll be cool. And Brad Webber, who does love a brew, he had you as the best dieseler he's ever played with. That's a huge thing for the CV. Hey? What did you do to impress him? It's a hell of a shout. That it is a good one for the CV when you're younger, but you know, as you get older, it's probably not overly appealing to be labelled the best dieseler. A fair bit of pressure on. You know, but I'm not sure what I did to. I've got an inkling. Could have been a fantastic game of can of hole that we played in Hamilton one time, and it's just one of those days where you know you put a beer back and you just crack open another one, and you were just on. You're just on. Some days they go down real well, and they were going down well that day, but.
No.
How do they go down now? Obviously a bit older. You got a kid now, so
Oh, don't get me wrong. I still love a beer, but there's time and place. It's not the same waking up and having to look after a kid as opposed to beaching all day on Netflix and Deliveroo. So you got to choose your time wisely. And every now and again, I like to push the boat out.
yeah. End of year do. Boys expect a big performance from you.
Jeepers. I've been listening to the podcast. Obviously, there's a few Tassie boys that seem to go pretty keen at the end of year do.
I think Nanks is after you, actually.
No, it's good to see the tradition still going strong. It'll be good.
Did you start that tradition?
No, it's just, Tassie boys were never any good at rugby, but we went bloody good at the end of year do, and now that they're getting better at rugby, they're still good on the do, which is good.
Keeping it strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, anyway, as always, we've gone to our Instagram for some questions, and we almost had a live one from Big Paddy McAllister, who was going to start till 3 a.m. to ask you one, but looks like he's fallen asleep. But we have got plenty of questions, and he has sent a lot in. Okay, first question. This one is from Paddy. He got this one in before he fell asleep. Top 3 lads to go on the piss with in your travels.
Top 3 lads to get on the piss with. There's been a fair few good dudes over in the UK. I'd say started off with Thrushy. He'd be one of my favourites.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, he came over from New Zealand pretty serious about his footy, not really have let his hair down too much, and ended up absolutely losing the plot in Gloucester. So we had good times. And good Scottish lad, Matt Scott, he was always one of my favourites. As you know, you probably met a few Scotsmen. They're not afraid of a few brews.
And I remember Scotty on your stag do. He was right on.
Yeah, well and truly lost the gherkin. I don't know if he's ever recovered from that, to be fair.
Fair enough.
And then I'm going to have to go 4. I'll go, like, they come as a package. Paddy McAllister and Ollie Thorley.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of good lads that I met in Gloucester. Yeah, we had a lot of good times with them.
Good crew. Sounds like a good crew. Okay, the next one. Who would win in a fight, Ollie Thorley or a puppy?
Definitely a puppy. Ollie Thorley. He's probably, to be fair, he's pretty aggressive on the rugby field.
He's a big boy, eh?
Yeah, he's a big boy, and he's aggressive, and he's pretty tough on the field, but off the field he's a bit like a kitten, so it'd be a kitten versus a puppy, which would, hey, to be fair, is a good fight.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Get it on. Want a game of fingers? Guess who asked this question?
Oh, Sweens.
Sweens loves it.
Sweens loves a game of fingers. No, to be fair, that's one of my favourite drinking games.
Yeah.
Don't often lose. And every now and again it gets me, though.
Yeah. Sweens. Did Sweens ever get you?
Nah, I wouldn't have thought so.
Nah, surely not. Okay, next one. What position do you want to be playing this season?
Whatever. I'll be pretty happy to slot in the 15 jersey or wherever is available.
15.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
21 it is. Can you ask him what he thinks of Poneki Premier George Jacobs?
George Jacobs. Name sounds very familiar. Yeah, good player. Works hard. Decent physique on him.
Yeah, he is a lad. Okay, next one. Any chance of a round of Captain Insano?
Oh.
Someone wants to go one-on-one with you.
Who is it? What's their size?
Not sure.
I've lost a fair bit of wrestling confidence. Yesterday we had jiu-jitsu as part of Tasman Mako training, and I got tapped out pretty much every single time. But I guess Captain Asano is fairly niche. I've got a fair bit of experience behind it, so I'll probably go all right.
You can't beat experience in Captain Insano.
No, exactly. I know what I'm doing in that situation.
How come in the jiu-jitsu you didn't get it going? You should have got one of the boys right in one.
Yeah, to be fair, I probably could have. You're not allowed on your feet, though. Pretty
true.
hard to...
Knee Captain Insano.
Yeah, do a knee Captain Asano, yeah.
True. Okay, this one. Why didn't you stay in New Zealand and try and play for the All Blacks?
Yeah, I mean, I was in New Zealand 4 or 5 years and I was trying my best to make the All Blacks. But no, when I was 25, I was sore, very sore. Had real bad patella tendon and I was probably battling for a couple of years. And to be honest, I left New Zealand and thought I probably only had a couple of years left in me. Lucky enough, I got surgery and had good medical staff over in the UK that looked after me and got me back to full health. And then, that's kind of how it's.
And now you're here.
and now I'm back. I'm ready for the All Blacks. and now I'm back. I'm looking forward to playing a little bit of rugby, hopefully without a sore knee.
Would you play for the All Blacks if you had a huge Bunnings?
Would I play for the All Blacks if I had a big Bunnings? Oh, mate, would you? I don't know. Like, it's not something that I've thought about at all.
Plum listens. Okay, this one. Where'd you get your fitness from?
Where did I get my fitness from? Just from running.
Rackley's box. Goody, 1-0.
Whoa, I was like, that's a loose, weird question. Fuck, fair play. Chop it, where's my diesel?
Oh, fair play, Andrew. Good, man.
Oh,
okay.
good one. That's a strong start.
I knew this question would be coming. What's it like being the best rugby player in your family?
Oh, classic. Yeah, well, I hate those questions, eh?
Do you get it all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
Me
What's
too.
It like being the best looking in your family, the best. Bloody blah.
Yeah, it's tough, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think your older brother should come out of retirement and boost Nelson Club next year?
Oh, 100%. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this at the moment, but he is planning a return to play.
Am I?
Round 8, Tasman Mako. Stay tuned.
We will see. I cannot even walk, mate. I'd love to put on the Nelson Rugby Football Club top one more time, but, mate, I would be doing you no favours. Okay, next one. Who's your favourite all-time Mako?
Yeah. I'm going to go for Shane Christie.
Oh, fair enough.
Absolute workhorse, and a hell of a captain. He's the guy that you want to play for. So, I guess it's a natural transition into a coach because, he's pretty intense, but he wants to get the best out of absolutely everyone, and he's got passion. You just see it in his eyes. So he's always been pretty inspirational.
It's a good option to try and push for that start.
Chances.
Oh, goody, will we filthy. Hardest player to tackle?
Oh, there's been a few. Bus in his prime was pretty lethal.
Oh, yeah, you got you a couple of good times, eh?
Yeah, no, he's pretty hard. Wasaki Naholo made of concrete.
Yeah.
Got me a couple of times, dislocated shoulders.
I think the answer might be sitting right in front of you, to be fair. You're searching for answers.
That's a terrible picture. I got you, mate. I got you around the bootlace. Trademark.
You actually didn't. I broke it, but I ran into touch.
No,
I
you
did.
didn't.
I did.
Get the clip out, mate, and tag me on it. I tackled you around the bootlaces. Workman-like tackle.
No, I definitely broke the tackle, but I went straight into touch. And do you know what? It was such a shit play, but I was actually quietly stoked.
Yeah, turnover. I would have got the turnover then, so not a bad result.
Yeah.
But now the big boys that can run quite fast are always quite tough, aren't they?
Have you tackled Jim the Bruss yet?
No, I haven't. Jim the Bruss. Very low centre of gravity.
Yeah.
Stocky.
Rock.
Fijians, yeah. Made of concrete, Concrete
Yeah.
cover. Whew.
Okay, next one. Best player that you've played with?
Ooh.
You've played with a lot of teams, a lot of players all around the world.
Yeah, a lot of good players there. It's tough. Like, it's all very subjective, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
there's best locks, best tens.
Yeah,
best...
might be in front of you again. Now, obviously, when you're at the Crusaders, you were playing with a pretty stacked side. Carter, McCaw, Sonny Bill, all those guys.
Carter's unreal. Like he's probably all round like the best player that I've played with. He's unbelievable. I think I was at Gloucester. I was pretty lucky to play with Danny Cipriani as well. He's probably the best ball player that I've played with. But yeah, I think overall, DC the GOAT.
What makes Cipriani such a good ball player?
Don't know. I just think he's really gifted.
Yeah,
like he'll hit the right pass every time, pretty much, and you know he knows he's just understands the game. Like he's just such a wizard in how he wants the game to be played. If he got everyone thinking like he thinks, like you wouldn't be able to stop them. But unfortunately, a lot of players don't, and that's where the downfall is, and a lot of frustration seeps in. But no, he's a hell of a gifted ball player.
Yeah, and TJ must be floating around on that list somewhere, eh? After you've played with him, and he's hooked you up with a contract and unlimited clothing.
Yeah. Nah, TJ's unreal, isn't he? Like he's influential. He's definitely probably the biggest competitor that I've played with. You know, like he fights for absolutely everything, and he's probably not the best all-round player, but man, he makes up for it with his competitive edge. And when he walks out on the field, he often, more times than not, he comes off at the best player.
Crazy, eh? Love that. Okay, weirdest teammate you've had? Geez, there'd be a few of these too.
Weirdest teammates. Isn't it? I don't know if every work environment's like that, but there's so many weirdos in rugby. Eh? Do you reckon? I don't know. There's always a couple of like really cooked roosters.
Yeah.
Weirdest teammate.
Ben Coman must be in and around.
Ben Coman. Oh yeah, he's a real crook rooster. To be fair, you're probably not going to know who he is, but I reckon he's probably the weirdest teammate I've played with. And Val Rapala Rushkin.
Oh, yeah.
He's a prop at Gloucester.
Where's he from?
Who knows? I think he's a compulsive liar. So 1 minute he says he's from Georgia, but he could be from anywhere. He's one of those guys that tells so many stories. You're just not sure what's right, what's wrong. I literally think he's got a condition where he just has to lie, which is interesting. But, yeah,
get him on the
podcast, asking some questions,
see where he takes us.
God, it's a hell of a yarn. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, this question is from Brad Weber. Would love to hear your best yarn about the big man Whopper.
Oh, the big man Whop Deezy. I was lucky enough to live with him in the Tron for 2 years. Plenty of stories.
I bet.
Unfortunately, a couple of them have got to go to the grave. But one yarn that sticks out for me would be the absolute stitch up. So we used to live next door to the Mongrel Mob. Yeah, they had a dog, a mob dog on their letterbox type thing, and they'd come out in their patches and stuff. Like absolutely harmless. I think you know that it was his family house, so there wasn't much going on there. But Whopper used to give me a ride to training every now and again, and the friendly bloke he is, big lad, you know, from a small town, always wants to say g'day to everyone. So he'd always wind down the window and wave and say, "G'day, mate," to the Mongrel Mob leader. Which, you know, I'd always be like, "Fucking hell, Whopper, don't do that." But there was nothing really. Yeah. But then one day we got back from training and we had a note saying, "Tell your fat fucking mate to never fucking wave to me ever again. Otherwise, that'll be it." And so poor old Beth, it was me, Beth, and Whopper that lived in the house. Poor old Beth received the note from the Mongrel Mob, and she was ringing me pretty much in tears, looking up replacement rentals.
Oh, real.
Saying we had to move out of there. I told the big man, he's like, "Oh, no, they seemed all right when I waved to them," and like all this stuff. We were fucking panic stations for the whole day. And lo and behold, it was a bloody prank of a lifetime from the Mackenzie brothers.
Got him. That's a Waterlad prank.
That's an absolute classic. If it had been filmed, it would have been gold. But no, I can't remember what we did to Big Jim, but that was a payback prank, and they absolutely trumped us.
Oh, that's good stuff. What a yarn. Okay, last question, Toey. Oh, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I remember when I was probably first year of the Crusaders, there's a good lad that was Corey Flynn, older bloke, been around a while, absolute lad. He must have been, on his last couple of years, and he just said to me, having a couple of beers after the game, he just said, make sure you enjoy the ride because, it goes so fast, and it really does. Like, I don't feel like I'm 31 now, and I can't believe it's been 11 years since I first started playing rugby professionally, but I've definitely made sure I've enjoyed it. So, I think that's important to get that balance right, train hard, do your work, and then make sure you enjoy yourself afterwards. And, I think it's a big part of the game.
What do you reckon the risk is of guys taking the game too seriously and not enjoying that ride?
Well, they're going to get – I'd think you'd get to the end of your career and you'd just be like, man,
full of regrets.
I've been to so many places. I didn't see it because I was too bogged up on recovering and making sure that I ate the right thing and didn't experience all the good things that rugby can give you as well. I think you got to get the balance really right because, there's a time and place for it. You don't want to go to South Africa and put on 5 kgs
Lima
and average 2.2 milkshakes a day. But at the same time, you don't want to lock yourself in the room because you're recovering on your game ready or whatever you're doing. You need to get the balance right and you need to enjoy it because, you never know when your last game of rugby is going to be.
Yeah. Geez, that's powerful stuff from you. You've listened to a lot of Waterlad podcasts and you've taken a little bit of everyone's advice and just crammed it in there. It's so good.
I love it.
What a way to finish the podcast. But, mate, really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Really looking forward to having you back, playing for your beloved Tasman Mako. Looking forward to coaching you. Stoked to have you back in Mapua and ready to put on that Tasman Mako jersey. And then, obviously, your time over in Japan in NEC. Looking forward to seeing how that all goes for you and Beth and Chase as well. So appreciate you coming on the podcast, mate.
Cheers, Jimmy. Nice to be back on here. Looking forward to the season with you and maybe getting some further progress with this delicious Waterlad beer.
Yeah.
If there's any listeners out there that have any requests or any types of flavour that they like, fire it through to the Waterlad website. I don't know what you're running these days. You got that many bloody things. Facebook, website, sheds, studios. You'll have an assistant soon. But no, fire that feedback across and then I'm sure there's big things coming in the pipeline. Maybe a few exclusive Waterlad events sponsored by Waterlad Diesel, Waterlad Stag Doos.
Oh, we're going places.
Big things are happening in the studio.
But if you do have any ideas around this beer, do send them in. This, even if you're a brewer or someone who wants to make a beer and be part of the journey, get in touch and you can join this awesome beer which is going to take over the world. Because this one here, man, this was just a sample, but wowee, this is going down a treat.
Oh, it is nice, very nice. But yeah, no, cheers.
Waterlad.